I'm Ben, this is Borealis. It's really warm, let's cut to the intro. This is Borealis, a game for 2 to 4 players designed by Dariusz Minder and published by Lucky Duck Games. In Borealis Arctic Expeditions, you take control of scientific teams venturing north into uncharted Arctic territory to take as many pictures of its adorable Arctic inhabitants as possible. Try saying that 5 times fast. To succeed, you'll need to coordinate the efforts of your 9-person crew of specialists from 3 different fields, represented by meeples of different colours, and snap as many photos of 5 different species of Arctic animals as possible. By also aligning vehicle symbols, racing to achieve objectives, and paying close attention to endgame scoring conditions, you'll compete with up to 3 other rival expeditions to become the most renowned within the Society for Polar Inquiry. To set up, give each player their own player board, 3 flag tokens, 2 1-point scoring tokens, 3 meeples of each colour, and a reference sheet. Choose whether you're using the symmetrical side 1 or the asymmetrical side 2 board, and place a scientist of each colour on each of the 3 marked locations at the top of the board. Place a flag at each of the marked locations, shuffle the deck of animal cards, and deal 4 to each player. If they're unhappy with their hand, they can discard any number of cards to a face-up discard pile, and then draw back up to 4 cards, but they can only do this once. Then, play another 4 cards face up in the middle of the playing area to form a public pool of cards. Grab the objective cards, the ones with blue binoculars on the back, and randomly select 1 objective with a paw print symbol, 1 with a meeple symbol, and 1 with a flag symbol. Put the rest back in the box. Place a 5-point token in front of each of these for each player. These are first come first served objectives that players will have to race to accomplish. Randomly select 2 scoring cards, the ones with the feather on the back, and put the rest back in the box. These are endgame scoring objectives that you have the entire game to focus on. Finally, give the first player snowflake token to whoever lives the furthest north, or choose your own criteria, and you're done setting up. Everlasting fame and maybe even a tiny snow-covered island in your name is up for grabs. So, let's learn how to play. A game of Borealis is played over a series of rounds, with players taking turns to play a card from their hand, in other words taking a picture, and hoping to score as many points as they can along the way, represented by this symbol here, the compass rose. On your turn, you'll take one of 2 actions: observe an animal, or regroup. The observe action is what you'll be doing on most of your turns, and it's split into 4 steps. Step 1. Take a card from your hand and play it to a location on your board, making sure that the 2 scientist colours printed on your card are present at that location. If the matching scientists aren't present, you can't play the card there. Step 2. Slide the scientists according to the arrows on the card, either to another location or to a camp marked by an igloo. We'll discuss camps more in a second. Step 3. If the vehicle on the card matches a vehicle symbol in the space below that location's flag marker, advance your flag down 1 step on the exploration track. The further you go, the more points you earn. If your played card doesn't match the vehicle symbol, your flag stays where it is. Step 4. Finally, take a card from the pool of cards from the centre of the table. If you don't like what you see, you can always draw a card from the top of the deck, or pay a victory point from your supply to discard the 4 available cards to the discard pile and draw 4 new ones. Then, choose a card, either from the freshly drawn cards, or 1 from the deck. You can only do this once per turn. Now what if you can't play a card from your hand, or otherwise don't want to? Well, that's where the regroup action comes in. To regroup, first discard up to 4 cards from your hand to the discard pile, and draw back up to 4 cards from the deck, not from the visible pool of cards. Then, take 1 victory point token for every scientist currently sipping cocoa in camp on either side of your board. Then, put all of them back into 1 of the 3 locations on your board. It's then the next player's turn. But moving your scientists back from camp isn't the only way to score points in this game. Let's find out how else you can score. During the course of the game, you'll be racing to achieve the 3 objective cards we set up at the start of the game. If you find that you've achieved one of the objectives, take one of the 5-point tokens and announce to the rest of the players that you've accomplished that objective. They now have until the end of the round to achieve that objective too. In other words, until play works back round to the player with the snowflake marker. At that point, the objective is discarded, as well as any leftover point tokens on it. If you realise in a later round that you've met the requirements to claim an objective, but didn't claim the reward earlier, then you can instantly do so, and then the other players will have until the end of the round to claim it as well, at which point the objective is then flipped over and is out of play. Once one player has taken 7 photos at a certain location, or in other words they have 7 cards in a single column, finish the round, and whoever has the most points wins. But how else can you score? Well, let's fast forward to the end of the game and have a look at the endgame scoring conditions. The included score pad will guide you through the scoring process at the end of the game. Start from the top and work your way down. First, score animal groups by checking the number of animals of each species that you have in each location against the table on the right of your player board. For example, 3 seals in this location scores 3 points, and 1 polar bear scores nothing. Do this for each location. Next, check the position of your flag on each of the 3 explorer tracks, and note the amount of points granted at that location. As a reminder, the outer tracks score higher than the middle track. Next, check the cards in your display, and count up the number of compass roses printed on the cards, then add them to your score. Next, check the 2 scoring cards and calculate the points you're owed depending on how well you satisfied the conditions on those cards. And finally, count up the number of point tokens you've acquired during the game from completing objectives and regrouping your scientists. Then, add everything up on the score sheet and you'll have a final score. Whoever has the highest score will win the game and gain the recognition of the Society for Polar Inquiry. But if you really want to go down in history as a polar pro and gain everlasting fame with the Society for Polar Inquiry, flip to the back of the rulebook and have a look at the achievements page. After each game, mark off any achievements you managed to accomplish, and over time you can progress from Tundra Tourist to Boreal Backpacker and finally Polar Pro. And that's everything you need to know about Borealis. All you need now is the game. Pre-order before the 16th of July and you'll get your hands on the Society for Polar Inquiry promo pack. Need to get my teeth back in. And that will get you a couple of upgraded components, some extra objectives, some extra scoring cards, more ways to gain favour in the eyes of the Society for Polar Inquiry. If you like this video, let us know in the comments. It'll help us make more videos like this, or make less videos like this. But for now, I've been Ben, this has been Borealis. Thanks for watching, guys. Oops.